Hello, it's been a while. Not long after my last video, I ended up getting a job. I kind of been looking around for a little bit and the creative industry has just been really struggling at the moment, so I figured it was probably time to find a part-time or full-time job. And I found a really great one. It's like 4 days a week at a company that helps people start companies, and the people are really lovely, and I've been working there for about a month exactly today actually. I've noticed that I'm a lot less stressed and anxious and like physically unwell due to like the stress that I was under trying to make it work with art. But that does mean that I've got a lot less time to focus on my art, which is okay because I'm not relying on it, but I still want it to grow and I want it to work, so I need to put in the work to do it. I think I really struggle with change anyway, so it's just taking me a bit of time to try and figure out what my new schedule can look like and where I can fit everything in. So that's the struggle at the moment, but it's not the end of the world. This month I have 2 markets coming up. I've got one on Saturday, the 13th of May, which is Arty Farty in Deptford, and then one on the 20th of May, which is BIF, which is Brighton Illustration Foundation, but I think some people call it Brighton Illustration Fair as well. Unless those are 2 different things. I don't think so, no. And the other day I realised that I have not prepared for any of them. So I really need to do that today and tomorrow. And I thought I would take you along with me, and maybe I can have this up before it goes out. So hopefully this is edited by Friday night. And if you're seeing this, then I'll be in Deptford on Saturday if you want to join. I have a coffee on the way because I've got no food in my house. I also have a grocery shop on the way, and I need to make a plan about what I'm going to take and what I need to make. I was talking to my therapist the other week about how markets really wear me out, and I often just end up sitting there and not knowing what to do and not knowing what to say to people and feeling like I'm really socially awkward. So we came up with a plan for things for me to do and say to customers when they come by, which I don't know if that sounds really silly to some people, but it feels very necessary for me. So I'm doing things a little bit different this time. I have a project called Body Like Mine on Instagram, which is where I just draw portraits of trans people's bodies. Let me show you. They're the kind of drawings like this where it's just a white background and it's anonymous people and their stories. And so I wanted to create like a book that people can look through. One day I'd love to have this as a coffee table book, if that's what they're called. Coffee table? Yeah, I think so. But I bought a little binder and it's got like 20 sleeves in it, so I'm gonna just put images in there and then say to people that they can look through this if they want. I think that would be a nice thing for people to do so they don't feel like they have to talk about spending money, or I don't know. I'm also gonna do a lucky dip. I have some products that I don't want anymore and they're just taking up space in my flat. Those are the main 2 different things that I'm gonna do, but I'm also just gonna try really hard to like speak to people and maybe just take coffee and my ADHD meds and try and be upbeat because that's what people want. I did it. The front has a little like description about what it is, little content warning. I think it's good to put that on in case there's like families with their kids coming or people who are sensitive to topics and they can like know what's gonna happen. But I'm also tempted to have it out. I think it's better just to have it closed. I feel like I'm reading a book to children. So the first bit has like chests, and that's like the tamest versions. And then you keep going, and then there's full bodies, and there's not as many, so there's just 5 I think, and then genitals. I probably shouldn't show those on YouTube. I don't want to get my video taken down. Submissions are closed right now, but in the future I would probably have a little scan to get involved, because then that would take you to the form, and then the form sends you an email to be like, send nudes. But right now submissions are closed because I've got too many and I can't keep up, which is a good problem to have. This is the Lucky Dip station. I've planned it out. So I'm gonna have this like here so people can see Lucky Dip, and then I might have postcards here, but maybe take less. So people get a free ticket in general, but if they buy something then they get an extra ticket, and then all they need to do is say a number between 1 and 6 to see what they get. And then I've got this sheet behind that I will have. So actually I'm not going to tell you in case this goes up and you come to the event, but if you pick a number then it tells me what you get. I found some spare A5 prints that I took to the last market, so I'm going to keep those for spares. So I've printed out all of my A5s and attached the price to them. I'm only taking 3 of each print. I usually take 5 of each print, but I think I've sold out of one time, so I think 3 is a better shout, less wasteful. I've been waiting for a while to get these new sleeves from a supplier who does eco-friendly compostable sleeves, and they haven't turned up, and the market is tomorrow, so I have all of my prints that have not got a sleeve on it, so I'm gonna have to leave them and not take them, which is really frustrating. But I have a bunch of prints left over from last time, so I'm just gonna take those, and I have prints that are A5 that I can take. So I'm just gonna pack things up and then it will be ready to go tomorrow. That's me packed up, ready to go. I'm taking a lot less stuff this time than I usually do. I'm not taking any jewelry or badges or pins, or maybe I should take some pins actually. I have no idea how it's gonna go tomorrow. This is a new event. It's in Deptford, which I've done before, but it's a different organisation that's running it. There are train strikes tomorrow, so I think that's going to impact the number of people coming. My train is at 7:30 and my aim is to get there at 9:30. I'm feeling a bit disheartened at the moment, and at the same time very grateful that I have a job, because I've just done my finances and the past 2 months have been really not great, and if it wasn't for finding this new job I wouldn't have been able to pay my bills or basically anything. I feel like I'm gonna be very vulnerable here, but I have this voice in my head that's kind of telling me that someone is waiting for me to fail and waiting for this this art career is just not gonna be possible, and I feel like I beat myself up about it when things don't go well, because I'm like, they're waiting for you to fail, and they're right. So when I bring in like £300 in profit, I am like really disappointed in myself, even though so many people are struggling with the same thing. And even though I'm not relying on that anymore and I have this job, it still feels like things are going downhill. Etsy have also put me in this reserve, which I don't know why. They've not given me a reason, and they also have no one I can talk to about it. So there's over £1,000 in this reserve that they're just holding on to until July or June. They're saying that 75% of the funds you earn from each order will be unavailable until your order dispatches with valid tracking, or after 45 days of the date of sale. And that might sound fine to other people, but I give the option of tracking and no tracking to customers. And so if people don't pay for tracking, then I either have to pay £5 or £10 per sale to do that, or I just have to wait 45 days from the date that they've ordered, which is over a month. So it doesn't translate into how well you've done that month. I could have done really well in April, but because I'm not getting most of those orders payment after 45 days, I'm not seeing that translated into my finances. So things like this are really frustrating, and this is when you think, you know, running a website is more sustainable, but then that requires a lot more promotion and advertising, which Etsy does most of. I feel like my brain at the moment is very much catastrophizing, and because I've had a bad few months with business for Conscious Euphoria, it feels never ending. But I also have to recognize that this happens in every business, and I have a safety net with my job now, and once this reserve is over, then that should be fine too. And also I'm finishing a big commission, and I've just had a big wholesale order too, so I'm waiting for big sums of money to come in, but right now I can't see it. I'm gonna end this vlog here. Sorry that it's not the happiest note, but I want to get a video up. I will see you next time, whenever that may be. Bye.